Welcome. We're gonna have a deep and slow practice today. So this means we're gonna be on the floor and no vinyasas, no down dogs. So a deep release. That's the idea for you today. We're gonna start in a kneeling position, virasana, but with the knees slightly open. The big toes are coming together. And if you need a helping tool, might be a pillow or might be a blanket or towel in between heels and butts to make it comfortable, more comfortable, as well as you may put something below the tops of your chin bones to have it more comfortable. Then bring your palms onto thighs and move them a little bit up and down. Feel yourself, feel the chin bones rooting down into the earth, the tops of your feet, all of your 10 toes, and arrive here fully. Take the shoulders down your back and softly close your eyes. To draw your awareness into yourself. Start having a deep in-breath through the nose. Hold a moment at the top. Get another sip of air. And then open the mouth to sigh it out completely. Seal the lips and allow the breath to travel in and out through your nose. Find a rhythm of in and exhales which suits you. A deeper one, a softer one, a one which is getting intense or more intense after a couple rounds. And there are so much urgency and uncertainty in our days right now. So it might be even more important to take these moments to step on the mat and strip everything off. Get away from everything which is calling on you. And a good method to step off is to use the breath, having softer and slower inhales. Feel the expansion and allow yourself to let go with the exhales. You may stay with closed eyes. We are moving into our first posture. You may already also blink your eyes open, up to your gusto. Walk your palms out and come into a child's pose. The knees are having already climbed a bit of an opening, so your torso fits in between. And you may bring your arms into a cactus shape if you lower down throughout your forehead. Or if you prefer bringing palms over one another to have a resting point for forehead. It's also nice, should be nice and comfortable. You could also use, if the floor seems to be too far away, use both of your palms over one another to elevate the floor, the mat slightly. And allow yourself to deepen your breath again here. You feel your inhales melting into your inner thighs. So the ribs are expanding. And feel the expansion also on your back ribs, as well as in the area below your ribs in your kidneys. For for a couple rounds, try to breathe and inhale into the area of your kidneys. With each exhale, you feel that you are getting softer onto your heels, that the hips sink even more. And with each inhale, you inflate not only your ribs and torso, but also your kidney area. Inflate with fresh oxygen, energy, and life force, which is stored within our kidneys. Lift your head slightly away from palms or away from the mat. Open the arms and walk your palms out. We are coming into a shoulder stretch here. So curling the left toes under, bringing the right knee forward and walking your palms forward and your elbows down so the forearms are rooted down. Lower your ribs, the right side of your ribs onto your right thigh and lift the left knee away from the earth. Extend through the left leg. Walk the right palm out. Crawl the fingers even further away from your left and lower the head down. See whether you can lower your right armpit a bit further down to the earth while the right shoulder is pulled out. And the left one, you are able to pull it back. Deep in-breath here. And long exhales. Stay for a couple more in and exhales. You may always also close your eyes here again, if you haven't done it already. More or less you could close your eyes by aligning or finding every pose. For we have these longer holds. We use the breath to soften. Last breath here. Stay for the exhale. Take the right palm back, the right forearm back, side next to the left one, and change the legs. So the left knee is coming forward, you're stepping the right one out and sinking down onto your left heel. The ribs on the left are melting into your thigh, and you are walking your left palm out, crawling the fingers even further away before you release your head. Maybe your left ear is melting into your left upper arm. See how much you can release your left armpit down and kind of pulling the left shoulder away from your spine while you are getting the right one closer in. So you feel that the left shoulder is moving forward while the right one is pulling back. Maybe you feel a difference between your right and your left shoulder. We are never the same on left or right side. The same you probably have experienced within your two hip sides. Stay for the last breath. So we inhale together. And stay for the exhale. Re-blink your eyes open if you have had them closed. Return onto the left forearm, bringing the knees next to side by side into the distance. So kneeling down, and you are standing for poppy pose. You are standing your hips right over the knees. Climb onto palms and see what's necessary here. You may stay on palms, actually, which is fine. Maybe still by lifting the elbows and rolling the biceps down. If you want a bit more, you may climb onto fingertips. If you are very used to this big shoulder stretch, you may do it like this and probably lower your chin down. Or you may take a very comfy version. Palms down, forearms down, forehead down, and relax. Deep in and exhale. Listen to your breath. You may also hear the waves. I'm just meters away from the ocean again. And then we stay here for the last breath. So a deep inhale together. A long exhale. And then lift your head and gaze, lower your forearms down and come into Sphinx pose. So the pubic bone is rooting down, you're pointing your toes away, the tops of the feet are rooting down, and you are using your heart to be elevated in between your upper arms, pushing the chest through. Releasing the shoulders away from your ears. And there should be no crunching sensation within your lumbar spine, so then you have to back off a little and stay here with the chin tucked in is also possible. Or if you want more of an opening, you may slightly drive your palms out and come up into seal. So a higher version. Rooting down through the pubic bone. You may have a tiny bit of a bend within your elbows. Feels easier to roll the shoulders away from your ears here. And don't forget to have the smile around your eyes. If you are doing this by the end of your day or by the end of your week, it might be a good reason to smile. You may back off, bring the forearms again back down onto your mat. And then we stay here for the last breath. A long exhale. From here, bring the palms over one another and look over to your right. Bring the right one out into a half frog. So the knee is in one line with your outer hip and the ankle, you are having two 90-degree angles. Bring the palms over one another. The long extended leg is still on the top of the foot and the toes are pointing away from you. And you may lower your right ear down onto your palms. If you like to close your eyes again, please feel free. The right inner groin and inner hip side, inner thigh is lifted. It's not to be pushed down into the floor. Feel this opening sensation. Once again, if your right inner knee or your knees in total are sensible, use something like towels or pillows or blankets to put something underneath. Even in this half frog, it might be helpful to have something on your right inner knee. There should be no pressure on knees whatsoever. We stay here for the last breath, so take an inhale and exhale before we move again. Come back onto forearms. And we are going into a twist from here. So the right arm is extended to make it easy to crawl the left one underneath. And then I'm rolling onto my left outer hip, left outer shoulder. So I want to be in one line. Flex the long extended leg. And then lifting the knee, I have to lift my overgoing knee, otherwise I would not get my right shoulder down into the mat. So open the right shoulder all the way into your back, into the floor, and you may have to wiggle the shoulders a little so you really feel an even space for the shoulders. And for that, you probably have to lift your right knee away from the floor. Keep the long extended leg flexed. Start having deep belly breaths. And get the sensation of pulling your right hip away from your rib cage. Maybe you just get hold of your right hip and push it forward. Or you are just imagining that someone is pulling your right hip away from your right armpit, away from your right rib cage. Relax your face, close your eyes. And enjoy the length of your breath to release tension here. These deep twisting and wringing sensations are renewing, detoxifying your internal organs, spinal muscles, tissues, ligaments. Let's have a couple rounds of breath here. Last breath here. Long exhalation by pulling the navel in. And then ever so slowly, slow motion, roll back onto your belly. Bring the palms over one another. Rest your third eye center. And notice the change after this deep twist. And then slowly come back, lift the heart, just to take a look towards your left. So the left knee is moving in line with your left outer hip. The ankle is in line with the knee. And you are bringing your left ear down onto your palm. And the same thing again here. The inner left groin is not to be rooted down. The inner thigh on the left is lifted. This is anatomically perfect. We stay here for the very last breath. Take a deep in-breath and have a long exhalation. Come back on forearms and extend your left arm, so bringing the right one underneath, rolling onto your right outer shoulder, right outer hip, so moving completely onto the sideline of your body, flexing the long leg, getting hold of your knee, taking a wide circle while moving this left arm over. And you probably have to wiggle your shoulders a little before you are able to place your left shoulder completely into the mat, into the floor. Flex the extended leg and have deep belly breath. The more you use your belly for the in and exhales, the exhales are getting more intense if you are pulling the navel in. And throughout these contractions, all of your belly organs are getting a nice massage. Once again, extending the long leg, flexing the foot, making sure the leg is still with you. Having the last breath here, deep in breath, use your belly. And with the exhale, pull the navel into your lumbar spine. And then slowly roll back onto your belly. Bring both palms over one another. Rest your forehead on top of your palms. Point the toes away from you. And feel the effect. Bring the palms around your ribs and chest. Push into palms and come back onto your knees. And then before we move into pigeon, we're gonna have something something else for the hips. So you bring your right chin parallel towards the front edge of your mat, and the left one is parallel or in line with your outer long line of the mat. So you are having two 90-degree angles. And now I'm bringing the palms into the back. You may lower down on forearms if you think this is not enough for you. You try to lower your left hip as far down as it possible goes. And you feel quite a bit of an opening sensation, of a rotation within your left thigh, hip flexor, and parts of your left quad as well. We have a couple of audio issues here, as you can hear, but in front of me is a beautiful sunset. Yeah, these urgencies and uncertainty sometimes we have to deal with if we are filming outside. But on the other hand, an outside sala, an outside studio is having a lot of benefits. Last breath here, deep in breath. And a long exhale. We move into pigeon on the right side, so we keep the right shin bone in front of you, and you are rolling back. Extend the left one, maybe walking the left one, which makes it a little bit easier if you walk your left one slightly out of your hip line on the left. And now we crawl onto fingertips first and see what is possible here. See whether you can pull your left hip forward and your right one back, and how much you are able to elevate your spine. Maybe you already feel a release on your right side, on your right thigh or right hip. Before you slowly move onto your forearms, and again you may bring your palms over one another to rest your forehead here. You may extend the arms if this feels better and place the face completely down, or if this is a better option for you, you may walk onto elbows, bring the palms into prayer, and lean your forehead, your third eye center, into your thumbs. Roll the shoulders away from your ears. And notice the sensation. You may keep your eyes closed again. as well as you may change the position of your left foot. It can be tucked under if this feels better for your left knee. It can be also a lifted knee on the left. Sometimes if the knees are very sensible, this feels much better. As well as you may point your toes away from you. There are always options, and you may play around with these ones. Let's have the last breath here together. So a deep inhale, followed by a long exhale. And then slowly walk back onto palms. Roll onto your right outer hip and take it to the opposite side. So the left shin is in front of you. The right one is also open, 2 90-degree angles, and you walk into the distance, away from your hip. Maybe the elbows are bent, you can also lower down. It's not so nice for me, here's some ants around, so I stay lifted. And you try to bring your right hip further down, so the rotation is within your right femur, right hip. Enjoy the length of your breath. Last breath here. So long inhale and a complete exhale. Before we move forward onto the left side, keep the left shin in front of you. It doesn't have to be parallel towards the front edge of your mat. Roll the right thigh, the right knee back into your mat. Maybe open the line a little out of your hip. And then climb onto fingertips first to feel the elevation. Pull the right hip forward and send the left one back. And then lower down onto forearms. See whether you can find the same position you have been choosing on the other side, extending arms or bringing palms over one another. Or as I have been starting on the other side, bringing the elbows down and palms in prayer to rest my third eye center upon the roots of the thumbs. And you may once again close your eyes down. And feel your breath traveling in and out through your nose. Noticing the length of your breath. Still being present. Playing around with the long extended leg, if you've done this on the other side, pointing toes away or curling toes under, or even lengthening this right leg. Feeling the difference with all these variations and finding the form which works for you. Let's have the last breath together here. So a deep inhale. And a complete exhale. Come back onto your palms. Roll onto the left outer hip. And come into a butterfly or a even wider position here. Tadasana is the name of the diamond shape, where the feet are touching, the knees are open, and if you have something to elevate your seat, sometimes it's easier. You may get hold of your inner ankles and bend the elbows and fold softly down. Or you may bring the palms all the way towards the tops of your feet. And the elbows are pulling slightly out, so it's easier to maybe bringing your forehead into or the crown of your head into your inner feet. And relaxing and breathing into this forward fold. As a slight hip opener again. A stretch of your spine. A calming down sensation as a forward fold. Which is our last pose for today before Shavasana. You may, as always, change the position within your arms and palms. You may also extend the arms and turn the palms open. Let's have the last breath here, deep in-breath. And a long exhale. Come back slowly. Lift your torso back up, bring the inner knees to touch. And find a position to come into the final relaxation. Extend the legs or bring the feet down onto your mat, lower down. Let the inner knees sink towards one another. Sometimes it's a nice position to have a shavasana like this. The arms are open, facing up next to your hips or next to your sidelines. Scoop the shoulders slightly underneath to have a lot of open space around your shoulders, collarbones, and around your heart center. The back side of your heart is rooting down, and you allow your eyes to fall close. Allow the earth, the floor, to carry your weight. And absorb all the benefits you have been working for in this floor play. And these longer hold poses to release tension. To release around your hips and within tissues and muscles. I recommend to stay at least for 5 or even for 10 minutes in Shavasana. As always, I thank you for tuning in. It was an honor to guide you through this floor play. Hope to see you soon again. Namaste.